I know everyone has been disrupted in their routines. You may still be building your schedule because your children are now in online school or using Zoom to interact with their classmates, or your work schedule is disrupted, or you don't have work right now. But you do want to build kind of a solid routine and think about the start of your day, the middle of the day, and the end of your day, and how you can cue the activities that happen throughout the day. One of the reasons for this is, and especially with young children, but really with all children and even us adults, if you have a routine that you set, it gives children predictability. It kind of helps them understand what to expect. And right now there's a lot of unexpected in our lives, a lot of possibly emotions that are attached to what's happening. So building a routine and a schedule is really important. So think about how you can do that. You can either do it as a family, or you can think through your child's routine if they're even, really young, and think about, how can I communicate that to my child? So the younger the child is, you might want to use photographs to kind of explain what's happening throughout the day. Or it could be that you use little picture cues, or for older children, you might actually write it out and post it on the refrigerator. But think about what is age appropriate for your child. I'm going to kind of speak to younger children because that's the area of expertise that I have professionally. But certainly some of these ideas can be applied for us adults and for older children. So I want you to think about the idea of making the routine not only predictable for your child, but visually displayed. And the reason that I say this is because we as human beings can learn through multiple ways, and most of us are visual in nature. So we use visuals in our environment, in our daily routines, to kind of cue us or to remind us. So think about the ways that just we as adults go through our day, go through our life with visual cues. So we might have visuals for bathrooms. We might have visuals for traffic. You might have traffic signs. You might have interstate signs. You might have traffic lights. You might have the crossing flashing, do not cross or do cross now. So those are all visuals. Some others might be your calendar to remind you. And you may even have an auditory cue set up with that, which actually reinforces us remembering something on our calendar. So if we hear a ding and the ding indicates in 10 minutes something's gonna be expected of you, like you have a conference call, that's an extra reminder, an extra cue. And so we use these cues naturally throughout the day and in our environment. Some others might be simply your watch, looking at the time. You might have lists that you keep, whether you're going to the grocery store and you want to make sure that you get the things that you need to do or need to get. It might be instructions from the doctor on how to take a medication. So we're constantly providing visual cues for ourselves as adults. So we shouldn't expect kids to just hear a direction and always follow it right on demand. I mean, obviously we want children to do that. And as parents, we hope that when we give a direction to a child, they actually comply and do that direction. However, if we can just provide a little extra support around our routines and our directions with a visual, that actually will help. Some of the things that visuals do, if we visually display the things that are going to happen throughout the day, let's say we, have a picture for, we're going to get up, we're going to eat breakfast, and then we're going to go brush our teeth and change our clothes. So that could be 4 pictures. You might take a photo of them waking up, and that's one cue. You might take another photo of them go sitting at the table eating their breakfast. That's a second visual cue. And then again, like the toothbrush and the getting dressed. So for each of those, you would have a photo display, and you could even put the word with it. And then when children finish it, they can just flip the picture over. Some people do this through magnet system. Others use Velcro. Others use a file folder. What you do is you can cover them up when they're done. And what that does is it shows children, one, you've accomplished this thing. If it's flipped over or taken off or covered up as being all done, you've finished getting out of bed, then they know what is next. And so you can say, okay, now we're going to go eat, and then we're going to go brush our teeth. So you're constantly kind of reminding them the steps through the day. Then what's going to happen is it's going to act as not only a visual cue, but it ends up being kind of like their to-do list. So just like we might have a list of things we want to accomplish and we check them off, that's what they're doing. They're checking off what they're doing. And at some point in time, you can remove yourself as the one who's always saying, get up, go eat, go brush your teeth, did you go and get changed? You can then leave it to the child to self-monitor, and they can be in charge and managing those visual supports. The other thing it does is it teaches children early reading skills if you set it up from left to right. So they're actually reading, in a sense, as they're moving through the day. It shows them that time passes. It communicates exactly what you expect them to do in their routine. It gives them a self of confidence because they're in charge of it and they move through it. It gives them some limits. This is what we're doing. This is my clear message to you, and this is what we need to accomplish. And then it helps them also regulate. They know that before, let's say, they can play, and maybe you have a designated amount of time that they get to play, they first have to get dressed. So they, will know that before playtime, they first have to do the changing of the clothes. And then if you have that for the whole entire day, what it does is it starts to show them that after, lunch, certain things happen. After dinner, certain things happen. And this is what's going to happen at the end of our day when we get into bed. So I just encourage you to think about creating some sort of visual routine or schedule for your child. And in there, insert those activities that I talked about earlier where you're building relationships. So maybe there's playtime with mom, or playtime with dad, or doggy time, or if you have a swimming pool, we're going to go swimming. If you have a backyard, we're going to go outside to play. So it just kind of gives them a sense of the things that you'll be doing throughout the day. Now, the other thing you can do is for those activities that they get to do around play and interactions, you can give them choices. So you could say, do you want to play on the back porch with chalk, or do you want to go play in the backyard with the dog? So you actually will strengthen not only your relationship, but also giving them a choice allows them to feel like they have a say and some control. And right now, while things are feeling so out of control for so many families, this is an opportunity to give some of that control back to children.